Hey guys, Lancer here. Welcome back as we look into the stocks and MTG stocks as well. Let's get to it. So I called that the dollar might take a bit of a dive. The jobs report that came out of the US was way worse than I expected. If you want to have a look, please look at the previous video where I covered that. Pretty much what it means is the Federal Reserve might not be thinking about tapering its mortgage bonds and bonds in general, so it's not going to start tapering anytime soon, and there's a chance that it might never. So this is not a good sign for people that are holding cash to wait in the sidelines, which I understand that a lot of people might be doing because you never can really trust the Federal Reserve. They're in it for kind of motives that don't really fit the general public all the time. So one of the things that I'd watch out for is to keep an eye on the dollar because it is still above its 200. It did take a dive below its 50. It's at a strong level of support at 92. We'll have to see what happens. Gold, on the other hand, is taking a huge lead from what the dollar did, US dollar, and taking a big jump from its 200-day moving average. The 50-day is going to quickly touch up to the 200, and then that's going to show a lot of resistance at this point. Going back to 2008, this line hasn't really been broken. There's a chance that gold could get quite a bit of resistance from support from this and move up as well. We're going to have to watch. Bitcoin, same thing with Bitcoin, above its 200-day moving average, getting close to its golden cross of the 50 breaking the 200. And if that shows it, then all the other coins will get the huge boost that they need right now. The confirmation will pretty much guarantee a catch up to the previous top, which means that all the other currency coins that have caught up might even double, triple. You never know with this kind of move. We're going to have to see if the confirmation of Bitcoin is set for next week. But currently it looks like there should be no issues. VIX trading higher while the S&P is trading higher is a very unusual situation. The S&P did take a bit of a drop, but when I'm saying like it traded higher, it literally traded higher to the day and then took a bit of a drop at the end, but it's still a green day. So nothing crazy from there. GME took a bit of a drop as well. Important to remember that when GME kind of stops moving up, it pretty much means that risk assets are no longer an issue, which means that S&P 500 is good to go. US 10-year, I know I'm covering with this really fast. Looks like it's about to get above its 50-day moving average, but the 200-day is still above it, so it's going to have trouble breaking over that. If the 10-year does get up to and goes higher past its 200-day moving average, that's when we have to be careful of the market. Right at this level, where it's about 1.4 to 1.2, is perfectly fine. If it takes the big drop, then that means something strange is happening to the market as well. Might be on the news. AUD and USD, a big jump up. The Australian dollar is getting quite a bit of strength against the US. If you're in this market, then maybe now is a good time to start looking for bargains from the US. But you're only saving like 1 or 2%. Might not even be shown on a lot of places. It's just very, very jumpy. Silver, huge rise for silver. I'm going to start covering silver as well. I actually think that silver is probably one of the more underappreciated assets. Safe havens that you can probably go to, which is inflation hedges. Silver took a bit of a dive below its 200-day to below its 50. That's the tricky part. This is the 20-day moving average that I have in bright yellow. So if silver can get above the 50, that's a good sign. If it can get above the 200, that's an even better sign. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Copper, once again, copper is Dr. Copper, usually the first to break up or down. In most markets, when it breaks down, that means that the markets themselves are slowed down. When it moves up, it means that not only is there supply issues, then it also means that the market's going strong. You got Doge, Shibu, and ADA. ADA's still banging its head around about the $3 mark. We're going to have to see what happens with that. But like I said, if Bitcoin can hold its gains, then ADA can continue moving up as well. You got Dogecoin. Obviously, Elon Musk had a bit of a tweet yesterday, I think. Didn't really do much, like surprisingly, but it is now on the green trending. So we'll have to see if it continues trending up and breaks the $35 mark. Still quite impressive for where Bitcoin used to be. So moving straight into the market. So we have the dual lands. I actually am really, I guess, worried and excited. Mostly worried because I still want to get my Tiger, but I guess I have one of each of these still in my collection, and there's still a decent chunk of it. But I think that there's a chance that these might actually go up. As scary as it sounds, this might not be the top because the US is currently in a plan or program to try to provide or move towards universal basic income without taking a break in between if they can help it. That includes stimulus checks and extra government funds for people that are out of work, which means that, and with the increase of wages as well, trying to combat inflation and inflation being higher than normal, there's a pretty high chance that for things that are like this, which is a collectible asset that has value in the collectible market, especially for certain people that have been in this game for a while, they are going to see a lot of value growth in the next couple of years. I mean, can you imagine? This card used to be $47. I used to play from 2005. I'm an idiot. So yeah, there's a chance that this card could keep going higher. It's pretty crazy. I don't think there's any point doing anything drastic. What I normally recommend people that want to get into markets is slowly work yourself into it. Tell yourself that you're going to spend $20 or $40 a week, and then if you can't buy this card in $40 a week, then you save up to the point where you can buy it. You don't take a loan or anything. Then you put your hand in and buy it, and then you wait for the next time you do it. You assign yourself a certain amount of resources, and you don't go above or beyond that. You just stick with that goal, and you just continue working at it. You also try to write when you're planning to sell. You know, this is the kind of stuff that you want to do if you're really, really dedicated. But I'm not a financial expert or anything. I'm just saying that you do not want to jump all into any market at any time, especially if you feel like the FOMO effect, fear of missing out, because that's usually at the worst times. So Underground Sea, same thing, very flatlined right now, expecting on some news. There is something that these things are predicting. Whether or not it's another leg up, we'll have to see, but they are at its point where they're just looking for some news, and we're going to have to see what that is. Devoted Caretaker from Odyssey, huge spike up as well in the last couple of days, not on the reserve list, no other printing, is in junk from Legacy, so that's fun. It is in a deck. Good deck. I don't know. I haven't actually checked it out, but it looks kind of interesting for it to be played. Kind of a cool card. We'll have to see what happens. This is a huge spike up, but you got to remember that this card used to be $2 for the longest time. It used to be $1.42 for most of its history, and now it's trying to move up. So see what happens the next couple of days. We got a lot of showcase cards, which I'm going to kind of just skip over because... Oh, sorry, this is the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, so I'm going to skip over that one anyways. But we got a lot of these gold stamped signature cards that are really spiking up. If someone can let me know what the news is on that, because don't really make too much sense to me, especially since you can get the actual cards for way cheaper. Like, I mean, look at this extra that you can get for 24 cents. And then at the same time, this card is worth $3.79. You can't even play it. Let me know why you think that's the case. Another Innistrad card, we're going to skip over that. Tombstone Stairwell from Mirage. I remember this card. So, yep, on the reserve list, never been printed before. Huge spike up again. Is this a prediction for something that's going to happen in the future? We'll have to see, because this is weird. Look at this. What is going on with the scaling? So it jumped from $20 to $30 in one day. That's a buyout by the looks of it. I don't know if you can find any, but that looks like a buyout to me, so careful. Another gold stamped signature Mimic art card. That looks kind of cool. Flame Skull art card. Pretty cool. And Minsik Beloved Ranger art card as well. So $69.99 from TCG. I don't make this stuff up. $34.49 for a lightly played. $209.40. This looks like a buyout to me. Hardcore, someone's predicting another leg up for some of these markets. We'll have to see what happens. Standard, we're going to go jumping straight into Werewolf Pack Leader. That's expected, right? It's a human werewolf. It doesn't flip, which is actually the best part. You got Den of the Bugbear again on the list, now sitting at $4. Nothing else really moved too much. Ghostman Dragon now sitting at $44.92. Ah, God, I think I've watched this card climb all the way up here. It's a really, really good card. 7% gain for the day. Biggest drops, nothing really over. Oh, you got a 13% drop for Esika's Chariot. Now sitting at $2.21. Moving to Pioneer. Ulrich of the Calarhode, moving up to 195%. Is that a surprise? Maybe not. I'll have to check. The Arlen Code, again, 43% gain. I'm surprised there aren't more vampires on this list, but most vampires that are really good might be in the modern section, so we'll have to check that out. Ajani, Caller of the Pride, falling down by 11%, and Godless Shrine dropping down by 7%, now sit at $13.07. Pretty crazy jumps. You got Aurella, the War Leader, now sitting at $20. Crazy. Crazy. Really good card, no doubt about it, but it's crazy to be sitting at that high. Oh, Huntmaster of the Fells, now 151% moved to now sit at $30. Okay, I understand it's a good card, but you know, it was an expensive card before, now it's an even more expensive card. You got Mayor of Averbrook, now sitting at $7.80, a 75% gain. Master of the Wild Hunt, now sitting at $10.52, an 82% gain. Is that a surprise? Not really. They surprise showed some werewolves, surprise showed some vampires, and some zombies, and some humans. I don't think any of us are surprised. It's Innistrad. This is exactly what we expected. But the prices are surprising me, mainly because they're happening at such a late stage. Now, I actually don't have this version of Huntmaster of the Fells. The one I had was, I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one because I like the art anyways. But this one, is it? Yeah, okay. It's kind of doing the same thing. It's kind of doing the same thing. It'll be sitting around about the $35.99. Okay. I actually like the artwork for this one. It's not Pringly or anything. It might just have more printings or something. I don't know. But yeah, if it feels like it's maybe a bit cheaper than the other ones for now, so maybe there's a chance that you can sneak in and grab this one. But if not, then don't worry about it, guys. I don't think this is actually that good. I mean, it might be perfectly fine for standard, but it still feels like a massive pain to play werewolves in anything that's not Magic Arena, sadly, because you're going to have to get them out of the sleeve, and you can't play clear sleeved, and you're going to have to play them with, like, replacement cards. And if that's the case, then why do you need four of them? Why not just have one of them and play it? And if the other guy complains, then beat him up. Anyways, all good. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Take care. See ya.